We embark on an exploration of silence, the profound state of being that holds within it the key to everything you desire in life. Now, you might be thinking, Alan, how can silence possibly give me everything? Isn't life about action, about making noise, about asserting ourselves in this chaotic world? And to that I sigh, precisely because you think that way, you must learn to be silent. You see, we live in a world that's constantly buzzing, humming, chattering away. From the moment we wake up to the chirping of our alarm clocks to the last scroll through our phones before sleep, we're bombarded with noise. Noise from our devices, noise from our colleagues, noise from our own incessant thoughts. It's as if we're afraid of silence, as if we believe that in the absence of noise, we might cease to exist. But my friends, it is in silence that we truly begin to exist. Consider for a moment the nature of the universe. The vast expanse of space, the silent dance of planets and stars, the quiet unfolding of a flower's petals, all of these magnificent processes occur in near-perfect silence. The most profound transformations in nature happen without a sound. A caterpillar doesn't announce its metamorphosis into a butterfly. A seed doesn't trumpet its growth into a mighty oak. They simply are in the silence of being. And yet, we humans, we clever apes with our big brains and our endless words, we think we need to make noise to make a difference. We believe that to get what we want, we must shout louder than everyone else, push harder, fight off. But in doing so, we're like a child thrashing about in a pool, creating big splashes but going nowhere, when all we need to do is be still and float. You see, silence is not the absence of something, but the presence of everything. When you're silent, truly silent, you open yourself up to the entirety of existence. You become a vessel, a conduit for the infinite wisdom of the universe. And in that state, my friends, everything becomes possible. The universe is constantly speaking to us, is whispering the answers to our deepest questions, showing us the path to our greatest desires. But we can't hear it over the racket of our own minds. We're so busy talking, planning, worrying, that we miss the subtle guidance that's always there. It's like trying to see the stars in the middle of a bustling city. The stars are always there, twinkling away, but the artificial lights of our human creations drown them out. To see the stars, we need to journey away from the city to find a place of darkness and silence. And then, oh my, what a sight unfolds before our eyes. The same is true for the wisdom and abundance the universe offers us. To access it, we need to journey away from the noise of our everyday lives to find that place of inner silence. And when we do, oh, what marvels unfold before our inner eye. Now, I can almost hear some of you thinking, but Alan, I have goals to achieve, dreams to pursue. How can sitting in silence help me get a promotion, or find my soulmate, or travel the world? And to that I say, you see, in our society, we've been conditioned to believe that to get what we want, we need to go out and grab it. We need to hustle, to network, to climb the ladder. And yes, there's a time and place for action, but here's the kick. Action can only arise from a place of deep silence. Think about it. When you're constantly in motion, constantly making noise, you're like a lake whipped up by a storm. The water is murky, choppy, and you can't see what lies beneath the surface. But when the storm subsides, when silence descends, the water becomes still and clear. And suddenly you can see all the way to the bottom. You can see the fish swimming, the plants swaying, the hidden treasures that were there all along. That's what happens when you embrace silence. Your mind becomes like that, still clear lake. And in that clarity, you begin to see things as they truly are. You see the opportunities that have always been there but were obscured by the noise. You see the path forward that was hidden by the dust kicked up by your constant motion. It's a beautiful paradox. When you stop chasing after things, they begin to come to you. When you cease your frantic pursuit of success, or love, or happiness, you create the space for these things to enter your life naturally, effortlessly. It's like the old Zen story of the student who asks the master, how do I find enlightenment? The The master replies, it's like looking for an ox while riding an ox. The very thing you're seeking is what you're using to seek it. The very silence you need is already within you, waiting to be recognized. But I know what you're thinking. Alan, this all sounds well and good, but how do I actually do this? How do I be silent in a world that demands constant noise? Well, my friends, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And the answer, like all profound truths, is deceptively simple. You start small. You start now. In this very moment, as you're listening to my words, take a breath and notice the silence between the words. Notice the space between your thoughts. That's it. That's the beginning of your journey into silence. You see, silence isn't something you do. It's something you allow. It's always there. Underneath the cacophony of daily life, your job is simply to notice it, to give it space to expand. Begin by setting aside a few minutes each day for silence. It doesn't have to be a grand ceremonial affair. You don't need to sit in lotus position on top of a mantle, that if you can, more power to you. You can practice silence while washing the dishes or walking to work or lying in bed. The key is to bring your full attention to the present moment. Become aware of your breath, of the sensations in your body, of the sounds around you. And as thoughts arise, as they inevitably will, simply observe them without getting caught up in them. Watch them float by like clouds in the sky, without trying to hold on to them or push them away. At first, this might feel uncomfortable. Our minds are so used to constant stimulation that silence can feel like deprivation. You might feel restless, anxious, bored. That's okay. That's normal. It's just your mind throwing a tantrum because it's not getting its usual fix of noise. But if you persist, something magical begins to happen. The silence starts to deepen. It starts to reveal its secrets. You begin to notice things you've never noticed before, the intricate patterns in a leaf, the subtle play of emotions across someone's face, the profound beauty in a simple act of kindness. And as you become more comfortable with external silence, you'll start to discover the vast reservoir of inner silence that's always been within you. This inner silence is not empty or void. It's pregnant with possibility. It's the source of all creativity, all wisdom, all true power. From this place of inner silence, you'll find that you're able to respond to life's challenges with more grace and ease. Instead of reacting impulsively, you'll be able to pause, to create a space between stimulus and response. And in that space lies your freedom to choose, your power to shape your life. You'll also find that your intuition becomes sharper. You know that little voice inside that sometimes whispers guidance. In the noise of everyday life, that voice often gets drowned out. But in silence, it becomes crystal clear. You'll start to trust your gut, to follow your inner compass, and you'll be amazed at where it is. But here's the real magic. As you cultivate this practice of silence, you start to notice that the things you've been striving for, success, love, fulfillment, they start to flow into your life with surprising ease. It's not that you've stopped desiring these things, it's that you've stopped chasing them so desperately. You've created the space for them to arrive naturally in their own time and in their own way. It's like the old saying, nature abhors a vacuum. When you create space in your life through silence, the universe rushes to fill that space with good things. And this is crucial, you have to be genuinely okay with that space being empty. You have to be at peace with silence itself. Not just see it as a means to an end. Here's the truth, my friends, is not just a tool to get what you want in life. Silence is life itself. It's the canvas on which all of existence is painted. When you tap into that silence, you tap into the very source of all being, and from that connection, anything is possible. Now, I can see some of you shifting uncomfortably in your seats. Alan, you're thinking this all sounds very mystical and woo-woo. I'm a practical person. I need concrete results. And to that I say, let's get practical. The challenge for you. For the next week, commit to spending 10 minutes each day in complete silence. No phone, no TV, no music, no talking. Just you and the silence. You can set a timer if you like, but I encourage you to eventually let go of even that crutch. During this time, simply observe. Observe your breath, your body, your thoughts. Don't try to control anything. Just watch with curiosity and without judgment. If your mind wanders, and it will, gently bring it back to the present moment. At the end of the week, take stock, notice how you feel. Notice if anything has changed in your life. Are you more calm, more focused, more intuitive? Has your relationship with yourself and others shifted in any way? I promise you, if you commit to this practice, you will see changes. They might be subtle at first, but they will be there. And as you continue, those changes will compound. It's like compound interest for your soul, small daily investments of silence that grow exponentially over time. But here's the catch with it. Silence is not a quick fix. It's not a magic pill that will instantly solve all your problems. It's a practice, a way of life. And like any practice, it takes time and dedication to see the full benefits. The good news is, the benefits start accruing immediately. In the very first moment you choose silence over noise, you're already winning. You're already reclaiming your power from the chaos of the world. You're already aligning yourself with the natural rhythm of the universe. And as you continue this practice, you'll start to notice something profound. The line between your periods of silence and the rest of your life will begin to blur. You'll find yourself carrying that inner silence with you throughout your day. It will become a constant companion, a source of strength and clarity in every situation. Imagine going into a high-stakes business meeting with that sense of inner calm. Imagine facing a difficult conversation with a loved one from that place of centered awareness. Imagine tackling your biggest goals and dreams with the infinite resources of silence at your disposal. This, my friends, is true power. Not the noisy, flashy kind of power that our society often celebrates, but a deep, quiet power that comes from being fully aligned with yourself and with the universe. Now, I know what some of you are thinking, but Alan, doesn't this mean I have to become some kind of monk, withdrawing from the world? Not at all. In fact, quite the opposite. When you cultivate inner silence, you become more fully engaged with the world, not less. You see, true silence doesn't separate you from life. It connects you more deeply to it. When you're not caught up in the noise of your own thoughts and desires, you're able to be fully present with whatever is happening. You become a keen observer, a compassionate listener, a more effective actor in the world. Think of being in a conversation where you were so focused on what you were going to say. Next, that you missed what the other person was actually saying. That's how most of us go through life, so caught up in our internal chatter that we miss the richness of what's actually happening around us. But when you cultivate silence, you create space. Space to truly listen, to truly see, to truly engage with life in all its messy, beautiful complexity. And from that engagement comes true understanding, true connection, true effectiveness in whatever you choose to do. This is why I say that in silence, you will get everything in life, not because silence is some kind of cosmic vending machine that dispenses your desires, but because silence allows you to align with the natural flow of life. It allows you to see clearly what you truly need, which is often quite different from what you think you want, and it gives you the clarity and power to move towards that with grace and ease. Let me give you an example. Say you're struggling in your career. You might think you need a promotion or a new job, and so you push and strive, making noise, trying to prove your worth. But in doing so, you might be missing the real issue. Perhaps what you really need is to reconnect with your passion, or to develop a new skill, or to have a difficult conversation with your boss. In the noise of your striving, these deeper truths are obscured, but in silence they become clear. And once they're clear, addressing them becomes much simpler. You move with precision and purpose rather than thrashing about aimlessly. Or consider relationships. So often we try to fix our relationships by talking more, by explaining ourselves, by making grand gestures. But true connection happens in the spaces between words. It happens in shared silence, in the unspoken understanding that arises when two people are fully present with each other. By cultivating your own inner silence, you become capable of creating these deeper connections. You become a safe harbor for others, a presence that allows them to drop their own noise and connect with their true selves. And in that mutual silence, true intimacy is born. This applies to every area of life. In silence, you connect with your true creativity, allowing inspired ideas to bubble up from your subconscious. In silence, you tune into the wisdom of your body, allowing you to make better choices for your health and well-being. In silence, you touch the infinite, allowing you to put your daily struggles into perspective and find peace even in difficult circumstances. But me be clear, this doesn't mean your life will suddenly become perfect. You'll still face challenges, still experience pain and loss, still have moments of doubt and fear. Silence is not an escape from the realities of life. What silence offers is a different way of relating to those realities. Instead of being tossed about by the storms of life, you become like the depths of the ocean, affected by the waves on the surface, certainly, but maintaining a deep, unshakable calm at your core. This is true freedom. Not freedom from the conditions of life, but freedom within those conditions. The freedom to choose your response, to maintain your center, to act from a place of wisdom rather than reaction. And here's the beautiful thing. As you cultivate this inner freedom, you naturally begin to create more freedom in the world around you. Your calm presence has a ripple effect, influencing everyone you interact with. Your clear, inspired actions begin to transform your environment. Without even trying, you become a force for positive change in the world. This, I believe, is our true purpose as human beings. Not to make the most noise, to accumulate the most stuff, to win some imaginary race, but to become clear, empty vessels through which the infinite wisdom of the universe can to be silent enough to hear the music of existence and to play our unique note in that grand symphony. So, my friends, I invite you, no, I challenge you, to embrace silence, to make it your most trusted companion, your most potent tool, your most profound teacher. Start small if you must, but start today. Right now, in this moment, take a breath and notice the silence. That's already there, waiting for you to recognize it. And as you go forth from this place, carry that silence with you. Let it be your secret superpower, your hidden advantage in a noisy world. Let it guide you to your true path, for your highest potential, to the fullest expression of who you really are. Remember, in silence, you already have everything. All the wisdom, all the power, all the love you could ever need. Your job is simply to be quiet enough to notice it, brave enough to trust it, and committed enough to live from it. So be silent, my friends. Be gloriously, unapologetically silent, and watch as the whole world opens up to you, offering you its infinite treasures. But in that silence, you become one with the very source of all things. And from that oneness, anything and everything is possible. Thank you for listening, for being present, for embarking on this journey of silence with me. May you find in silence all that you seek, and may your silence be a blessing to the world. Now, let us take one final moment of silence together, to let these words sink in, to feel the truth of silence in our own being. Let's close our eyes, take a deep breath, and simply be. And with that, bid you farewell, but not goodbye. For in the silence that connects us all, we are never truly apart. Go forth, be silent, and watch as everything in life comes to you. The adventure awaits, my friends. Embrace it with open arms and a quiet heart. Thank you. And may your journey into silence be filled with wonder, discovery, and endless possibility.